What's up investors, and welcome back to the video. Today I'm going to talk to you about the top 5 mistakes that foreigners do when they buy property in Spain. I've been working with property for nearly a decade. I've been working as a listing agent, a real estate broker, a property advisor, a consultant and a full-time investor. I've been buying and selling on many properties in Spain, and I've even done some of these mistakes myself. And in today's video I'm going to talk to you about the top 5 mistakes that foreigners do when buying property here in Spain. So maybe you are thinking about buying a property, maybe you are considering buying an investment property, a rental property, the holiday home of your dream, or even your primary home here in Spain. You are not exactly sure about how the process is, what mistakes and pitfalls you can do and what to avoid. So in today's video I'm going to talk about the top 5 mistakes that you should definitely avoid when buying a property here in Spain. So stick around, because number 5 is going to blow your mind, and I even did this mistake myself just a couple of years ago. So make sure to stick around to the end to watch that one. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and I'll see you there. Mistake number 1 is to buy in the wrong area according to your own goals. So maybe you are on a holiday in a nice destination and you can see that it's very touristy, it's a lot of movements, it's a lot of buzz, it's a lot of action during high season. So you decide maybe to buy a property there because you had such a nice holiday there. You enjoyed it, it was nice restaurants, nice vibe, nice atmosphere, the beaches was nice and everything was just awesome. You loved it, so now you decided to buy a property there. But what you fail to realize that maybe in a very touristy area, it's dead on the winter, because it only relies on the high season, on a touristy season. So now on the winter time, it's completely dead, and you are there. If you are there on the winter, now you see that it was maybe not as expected. Another mistake is to buy an investment property in a very high saturated Airbnb market. So you can see there is a lot of Airbnb properties there, rental properties. So you are thinking that maybe now it's a good time to buy as well. So you pick up an investment property, put it on Airbnb, just to find out that the market is very saturated, which means that it's too many Airbnb properties. And that was the reason you bought in the first place, because you saw it was many properties there, Airbnb rentals. So you assumed it had to be a good market. But what you had now realized that it's too many. The market is saturated and it's too many Airbnbs, and the yield therefore is very low. It was a lot less than expected. So the solution here is to do a lot of research and also go there in different seasons of the year. Not only go there in the summer and then buy there just because the summer holiday was nice. Go there maybe during autumn, during low season, during the spring. Go there different times during the year and get a feeling for how it is during the whole year. And if you are buying in a very touristy area, that's especially the case, that you want to go there in different seasons. And on the other hand, you can find up and coming places or places that are more authentically Spanish, where Spanish people live all year around, and those areas are normally not that saturated. So if you buy an investment property, you want to rent it out, you can do some research and do it in a market where there is not a lot of rentals at the moment, because the higher yield you will normally get from those places, because your property will stand out in a crowd where locals lives, and you can renovate the property to your own taste and it will definitely stand out even more. So the mistake number 2 that I've seen a lot of clients are doing when buying a property here in Spain is that they buy in the wrong orientation for their goal. What this means is, if you buy a north-facing property, you will have a lot of shade and not sun. And if you buy east-facing, you will have morning sun. South-facing means that you will have sun throughout the whole day. And west-facing means that you will have sun on the property on the evening. And then you need to consider what's the best for you. Did you come to Spain to enjoy the sun, to sunbathing in the balcony and just getting that nice sun and nice tan? Or did you do it to get the nice morning coffee, enjoying the sunrise? Or the evening sun with a drink in the hand, enjoying the sunset? Or would you prefer to lay in the shade during a hot summer and be north facing? Normally most people prefer the south facing properties, because then they get the sun throughout the whole day, and that's why they come to Spain in the first place. So considering that, normally you would buy a property to be enjoying the sun, and most people are as well. So the south-facing properties are normally the most popular properties, and even in new built development, they have maybe an apartment building and they have balconies facing the sun, which is south-facing, and then the back-end apartment are north-facing because it's in the opposite direction. And then the south-facing apartments are normally a lot more expensive than the north-facing apartment, just because of the orientation. The apartments are exactly identical, the same size, same balcony size, same quality, same material, but the south-facing is more expensive. So considering that, when you buy a property, what orientation you want. Most Spanish people, when they buy a holiday home, they want actually north-facing because they enjoy the shade. They have so much of the sun all year around, so they actually enjoy the shade. But what you enjoy, it's up to you. So just do a bit of research and you will find it out. If you are enjoying this video so far, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't done so. And remember, I'm the owner of Revenue Real Estate. We focus on exclusive properties and new built properties. So if you are considering buying a new built property or a high standard property, get in contact with us, schedule a call down below, because we work with most of the builders in Costa Blanca and Costa del Sol. We will definitely find the dream property for you. Schedule a call in the link down below, and let's go on to the next tips. Mistake number 3 is to underestimate the additional cost when buying a property here in Spain. So many buyers only look at the property price when they decide to purchase a property. And that is understandable because they only see the property price and overlook the additional cost. So normally here in Spain you have to add from 10 to 15% in additional cost when you buy the properties. This is to cover the taxes, the legal cost, the notary, the lawyers, and sometimes even commission agencies. Depending on where in Spain you are, it is more or less additional cost. But if you are assuming from 10 to 15%, then you are sure to calculate correctly. And then also when you own the property, you need to calculate the annual costs as well, which is the property tax annually. This is the EB. And then you have utility bills, bills for the community. If you have a community and there is swimming pool, it's a lift and an elevator, that is also additional cost you need to consider that each month you need to pay for. And then there is also non-resident tax, even if you are not renting out the property. And if you are renting out the property, there is also additional fee, like even more income tax or corporate tax if you have the properties in a company. And there are also fees when renting out the property. If you're using a rental company, they will normally charge about 20%. And also if you list your property on Airbnb or Booking, there is also additional cost. So it's good to just calculate everything, even if it's just a holiday home, but also if it's an investment property. So to be on the safe side, calculate between 10 and 15% extra cost when you buy the property to be on the safe side. Mistakes number 4 is to rushing into the deal without doing any negotiation. So maybe you find yourself in the situation where you just find a dream property. It has everything you dreamed of, the nice balcony, the sea views, it's south facing, it has a lot of sun, just the right neighborhood, and it's just a perfect property for you and your family. So you just buy it for asking price. You don't want to miss this deal because it's so good. But then a lot of mistakes has been done already, because you need to consider that you can negotiate the property price. Many foreigners just pay the asking price when buying the property, but what you need to realize that you can almost always negotiate the property price. And some sellers even overprice the property because they know that foreigner buyers are willing to pay a little bit extra, and they also understand that new buyers, foreigner buyers to Spanish property don't know what the market prices are, so they put it up a little bit higher to expect to get an offer, and also to reduce the price and to test the market. So keep it in mind, even if it's your dream property and you don't want to miss the deal, you should always put in an offer, keep a good dialogue with the real estate agent, because they should know about the market value of the property. But even then, you should almost always put in an offer. And I see many of my clients, I recommend them, depending a little bit on the property, but from 5 to 10% of the asking price, you can definitely put in an offer. So if the value is 200,000 euros, you can put an offer in for 180,000 euros without feeling that you are offending the seller. But of course, always have a dialogue with the real estate agent. There are some exceptions that the properties are very good priced, and then in that case, you should just buy it for asking price. Mistake number 5 is a mistake I actually did just a couple of years ago, and that is to not check if the property has any outstanding debt, any outstanding bills or any mortgage or loans on the property. I actually bought an investment property just a couple of years ago, and after buying the property, because this deal was so good, it was just in the right area, it had a very good price, and I just overlooked this crucial step myself. So I bought the property, and then after completing the property, I got the keys, and then I actually was just checking just a couple of weeks after, and it resulted that the property has outstanding debt at the community. So it was nearly 5,000 euros, which was outstanding debt, and that was transferred to me. Because keep in mind, when you buy property in Spain, the outstanding bills doesn't follow the owner, it follows the property. So always make sure to check this with your local real estate agent or your lawyers, because it's always important to work closely with your own lawyers that are representing you in the purchase process, and they will make sure to look over it. And a good way to make sure that there's not any outstanding bills on the property, you can ask for a nota simple. This is just a couple of pages, maybe 1 or 2 pages, a summary of the property, who is the owner, the outstanding mortgages on the property, and if the property has any illegal bills on it, if it's you can see like a summary of the property. It's basically a summary of the title deeds of the property. So the title deeds is very long and complicated, and if you don't speak Spanish, it's even more complicated. It can be up to 50 pages, and it's very complex, but a nota simple is a summary of that. And sometimes you can even ask for an English version of the nota simple, so then you can also understand it. But still, you should speak with your lawyer and understand everything about it. The second type of bills, unpaid bills, was the one I was mentioning. It was the debt of the community, which is Comunidad de Propietarios. You can ask for a certificate of administración de fincas. You normally have to pay a little amount to get that certificate, but it's definitely worth it if the seller for some reason don't pay it. The seller should pay it, but if they don't, you should just ask for it yourself and see if there's any outstanding debt on it. That happened to me, 5,000 euros. At the end, I actually got around to speak with the seller, and they actually paid it for me after the completion, but I consider myself lucky for that, because they didn't have to do it. When I buy it, I also buy the debt on it. So I got out of it, but just in case. The second outstanding bill you need to look for is the EB. That's the annual property tax. It can also be a few thousand, especially if it's an abandoned property. If you're buying a rental property and it's a bank repossessed property, they normally have outstanding bills. So make sure that water and electricity, that follows the owner of the property, so you don't need to worry about that, because you will set up a new contract when you buy the property. You do not take over their contract. You could look it over just in case, but normally it doesn't follow you, it follows the owner. But to summarize, it's the mortgages on the property. Illegal bills, you should be sure to make sure that the properties are in legal state, that it doesn't have any illegal bills on it. The annual EB, that's the property tax, and the debt on the community. That is some of the most common mistakes that I've seen people doing here in Spain. If you want to avoid these mistakes and buy property right away, schedule a call down below in the link with me or one of my team members, and we will find the perfect property for you. We will find the right orientation, no outstanding debt, no mistakes will be made, because we make sure everything is in order. We are working closely with the best lawyers here in Spain, And we also work with most of the builders, new built properties in Costa Blanca and Costa del Sol. So if you are considering buying a new built property, schedule a call or send us an email and we will contact you, and we will definitely give you some more tips and tricks and find the dream property for you. I'm looking forward to it. Give this video a thumbs up and I'll see you in the next video. Subscribe if you haven't done so, and I'll see you in the next one.